Thanks, Kent. Just wrapping up Saturday. Just thrilled with our players' toughness, togetherness, and then the execution down the stretch to find a way to get a big win on the road against a really well-coached South Carolina team. And now we shift our attention here. Kind of a rare setup coming up, 3 straight home games, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, starting off tomorrow night with Kentucky. Obviously, Kentucky coming off an incredible performance on Saturday at Auburn. Both ends of the court, offensively and defensively. Really talented team. Third leading scoring team in the country. Lead the country in three-point percentage. Their assist-to-turnover ratio is almost 2-to-1. Just think they're fantastic. So it's a great opportunity for us tomorrow night. Hoping to have a great crowd, great atmosphere, coming off the big win at number 11 South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, Kentucky's also a top 10 team in fast break points. They like to get out and transition. I know you guys have played a lot of those kinds of teams this year. Just what can you learn from maybe past experience that can help you in this game?
I think just the urgency you have to play with to get back and try and get your defense set. They have unbelievable speed. Their guards are so explosive off the dribble. They change ends of the floor quickly. I think a big part of that is you can't turn the ball over, and you definitely can't take bad shots because they make you pay every time. The other thing they've done a great job of, top 5 in the country in block shots, which also fuels their transition attack. So I think it's a combination of the discipline and effort you have to play with defensively there to get back and set your defense, and then being smart on the offensive end to value the ball and get high-quality shots.
Just back to the victory. You guys have been in that situation before, but this time you were able to finish it off. What kind of mental boost do you think that gives your team, and how do you still replicate that fight if you need it?
Well, I hope the players take a lot of confidence from it to finally get over the hump there. It's tough. You're in that same exact situation 4 days earlier in Gainesville and unable to finish the game. But credit to our players. I thought it speaks to their resolve and resiliency. Came in, practiced, had 2 really good days of practice going into the South Carolina game. And you learn so many lessons through sports. And, Jordan, who didn't convert the shot in Gainesville, ends up scoring 7 points in the last minute of the game at South Carolina, the big and one. Does a great job getting to the free throw line there with 5 seconds, and you're there on the road in front of 17,000 people, down 1. You got to have some toughness and composure to step up and knock those down, and he did a incredible job. So was really happy for him, and then just overall our team, because the effort's been there, and to finally find a way to get the execution done in the last minute and get the win, something we hope to build on here moving forward. With this 3-game homestand, 4 of our last 6 at home over the next 3 weeks.
There was a lot of discussion about Kentucky's defense a couple of weeks ago, how bad it was and whatnot. But the last 2 games, have you seen against Ole Miss and Auburn, what did they do differently? Did they change up something or?
Sheldon, I would just put on the first possession of the game at Auburn and watch DJ Wagner's defense on the ball. I thought that set the tone for the game for them. So getting him back in the lineup, his ball pressure was terrific on Saturday. And then they have an anchor at the back of their defense now. 10 blocks against Ole Miss. He's cleaning the glass. It's had a tremendous impact on the back line of their defense. So you look at their performance on that end of the court against Ole Miss, and then obviously Saturday at Auburn, and it was really good. So credit to them for the improvements they've made there.
Coach, this game, it's exciting in the present, and then it brings back nostalgia, too, for a lot of people, LSU, Kentucky basketball over the years. Have you kind of heard about that? Have you, maybe John Brady or Dale Brown or any of those coaches that are around talked to you about it?
Well, I watched a lot of those games growing up. Loved SEC basketball for 4 decades now, so have a lot of respect for Kentucky and the program they have, the tradition there. It was fun getting to visit with Dale Brown. I sent Coach Brown a picture from where I was sitting as an 11-year-old kid in Knoxville when I watched Chris Jackson score 49 in the LSU Tennessee game. So it was fun to revisit that. But as we know, every game stands on its own. I think it's important for our players to have another good day of preparation today. They're well aware. They look at the mock drafts. They know there's 7 Kentucky players in the top 40, and they know they brought 2 of the top 10 picks in the draft off the bench Saturday in their win against Auburn, and have great respect for the program and understand what it'll take for us to give ourselves an opportunity to win. So that's where our focus is at, and I think our guys really had a good response. We always talk about how do you respond after the tough loss at Florida. It's no different after the great win in the last 5 seconds at South Carolina. It's how do you respond. And I thought our players came to work yesterday at practice ready to turn the page and get ready for this really talented and disciplined, explosive Kentucky team.
Yeah, Coach. Is there an update on Jalen Cook and I guess Damian and Carlos as well?
Yeah, Carlos remains out. Damian is out, still with the shoulder. And then Cook has a leg injury that cost him the Tennessee game, cost him the game Saturday at South Carolina. We'll see how he is in practice today. Really how he responds in practice today and tomorrow's shoot-around will determine it. Wish I had a more definitive answer for you, but we'll just have to see how he is today and tomorrow heading into the game.
Coach, obviously you mentioned Kentucky, a great offensive team. Not to equate the two, but with Alabama, you guys got 2 shots at them. Seemed like both times you're matching them in the first half, but in the second half you kind of can't keep up with that offensive firepower. What needs to change for you to be able to sustain that in this one?
Yeah, I think you look at every game's different. The last time we played Alabama here at home, I believe we were up by 1 with about 8 minutes to go. Defensive rebounding was just poor. So even when we were able to contain some of their 3-point shooting the first 12 minutes of that second half, we weren't able to secure defensive rebounds. I think it's just a matter of consistency and being able to sustain that level of play for 40 minutes. Easier said than done. You're playing Alabama. Everyone says, well, you got to slow the game down. Well, it's great in theory, but Alabama has a say in the deal too. Texas A&M tried to slow the game down against them Saturday, and they scored 100 points. I think it's just playing smart on the offensive end. You can't fuel Kentucky's transition game with bad turnovers and poor shots. We have got to have really good offensive possessions and just got to fly around defensively. That was one of the things I was really excited about was our improvement on the glass Saturday. South Carolina is a top 5 offensive rebounding team in our league. To hold them to single-digit offensive rebounds, single-digit second chance points. I thought we really defended the 3-point line a lot better. South Carolina was 4-17. They hit 2 late to add to that. But you look, I don't know if people realize Kentucky, number 1 in the country in 3-point percentage. They shoot over 40%. They're an elite shooting team. They're one of the top 5 mid-range shooting teams in the country as well. So just have to really compete, fly around, be disciplined to the game plan.
Yeah, Jordan kind of spilled the secrets on your rebounding motivational tactics there in the post-game presser. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear it.
No. Just Trey and what he's been able to kind of provide, in this absence of Jalen. Just what is it? Is it just his tenacity that's really helped put him above?
Yeah, I thought live Saturday, I was really impressed with how hard he played. Going back and watching the film, I would say, in my short time here, it's the hardest a player has played for the entirety of a game. I thought he was just a warrior. 12 rebounds, incredible defensive effort. He's been really under control offensively. If you go look at his assist to turnover ratio in SEC play, it's I believe over 3-1 last time I looked. So what you hope is that becomes contagious throughout your team. Defensive rebounding's been poor for us at times, so we need all 5 players on the floor to aid in those efforts. And I think the last 5 games he's averaging 7 rebounds a game, which the point guard spot's outstanding. So I was also proud of his maturity on Saturday. South Carolina, that's where he started his career, played 2 seasons, had a couple hundred family and friends there. sometimes you can go out and try and win the game on your own. I thought he was really disciplined to do the things that he needed to do to help our team win and really start in his role. And that's what we need from him as we go down the home stretch here.
Yeah, I think Tyrell's probably been playing his best ball since he got here last year. I think you guys are a pretty big net positive when he's on the court and he's shooting really efficiently. Just what do you think maybe has gone into his improvements over the last couple of weeks and just how important he's going to be for this game?
I would always, the box score would tell you to point to the three-point shooting, which has been really good for him. I always kind of look at things a little differently. I go immediately to mindset. I think it's so important in what we do here in college sports. I think his mindset has been really good. And Saturday was a perfect example of that. He started, he had 3 fouls in 3 minutes in the first half. Could have easily just called it a day and checked out mentally, but he stayed locked in. We didn't start in the second half because we didn't want him to get his 4th foul, but really came into the game when we were down 16 with 16 minutes to go and played, other than a quick breather, played the rest of the way and played the best basketball of his career here. Was aggressive attacking the basket on some dribble handoffs, hit 3 huge threes, thought competed on the defensive end. I think it's something he can really build on as we move forward.
You just mentioned the mindset, just him and Reed and Hunter Dean, having some moments. I mean, do you see the confidence on this team kind of developing with these even tight losses and then the victories?
Well, I hope so. It's a credit to the players. They come to work every day. The energy and effort and practice has been consistent. And, when that's your foundation, it allows you to keep getting better. We still have a long way to go, but we're definitely making progress. You look at the 2 sophomores you mentioned, Tyrell and Jalen, they scored half our points on Saturday. I thought Hunter Dean was awesome. Just did a great job. He's such a smart player, and I've been telling everyone he's a lot more athletic than people think. And you look at some of those lob dunks he got on Saturday and the pressure he was able to put on the rim on ball screens and handoffs opened up the floor for other players as well. So that was the fun thing about Saturday. Everyone who played in their own way contributed to the win. And the last 16 minutes is what you want from your team from a toughness and a togetherness standpoint, to just focus on eliminating all the distractions and noise and just focus on what matters the most. That allows you to perform at your very best when you have that laser focus. And I thought that's what our players did on Saturday, and it was rewarding to get them to see them celebrating that win in the locker room after the hard-fought victory.
More on Tyrell, the thing that kind of stands out about those plays he made late offensively were that he's doing them with the ball in his hands versus a lot of the season he's been a catch-and-shoot guy. So is that kind of a thing that the coaching staff is doing intentionally to get him more on-ball reps, and how has he responded to that?
Well, he's got great size at 6'7" there at the guard spot, and he's wired to score. And I think when you shoot it so well from 3, into the 40+% range, it opens up opportunities for you to attack the basket off the dribble. We were really searching for a better offensive attack there in the second half Saturday, and we found a good action for us off some dribble handoffs. And I just thought, Tyrell's a smart player too. He's got great feel for the game. He made the right reads. When they trailed him, he got all the way to the bucket for that big dunk there in the second half. When they went under a couple ball screens, he stepped behind and shot the 3. So I just thought he was really dialed in to making the proper reads and making great decisions offensively. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow night.